Welcome back to the Legend of Heroes Trails to Azure, where we are still exploring Crossbow on the 4th day of Chapter 3. And last time we did in the town, and today we go out in the city, and today we go outside. Let's start with Belgrade Gate. Hey Mary. Thank you for your help with the forest search. We couldn't have done it without you. Took care of a runaway car too. Now maybe we can focus on border security for a while. I really can't thank you enough. I heard you guys caught that reckless car a little while ago. That gives me one less thing to worry about. Thanks, sisters. I swear those kids were such a nuisance. But I've got to stop thinking about them and focus on work. I'm still worn out from working on the repairs last night. Maybe I should catch a nap while I can. You never know what might happen in a state of alert like this. Thank you for solving that case in America yesterday. If it weren't for you, I'm not sure what would have happened. Miniv certainly didn't make it easy for us. He was much more slippery than we expected. Now that he's wanted, however, I should be able to apprehend him in due time. You think so? He looked like a gratingly persistent type to me. Yeah, but Phony is gonna be a menace till the second he's finally behind bars. You're probably right. I only hope he doesn't cause any more damage before then. I drove down West Crossbow Highway earlier today. It was hard not to think about yesterday's unsettling train accident while on the road. There's also that rumor about the giant monster lurking about. I need to be careful on my way home. Father, are you alright? Why don't we go and rest in the mess hall for a while? I was on a train yesterday when it flew off the rails. Thankfully my injuries are light, so I called my daughter to come pick me up. Doesn't mean I'm not still sore though. Second Lieutenant Miray's unit ran into a giant monster yesterday. That thing's still on the loose, so she deployed a company to search the state for it. Jeez, as if we didn't already have enough on our plates with all the international friction. For some reason I've been feeling on top of my game ever since I ate Stella's extra spicy soup yesterday. Must be the power of love. But man, love really hurts when you digest it. It just had to rain today, didn't it? Perhaps I should have taken a train after all. Well, in my defense, I was in no rush to board one after that horrible accident. It's an awful day to be posted outside. I feel bad for those rain-soaked guardsmen. And what they need is a nice hot meal to warm them up. So maybe I use that super spicy soup I made for class as a base for some hot pot. I heard all about yesterday's train accident. They're saying a giant monster struck the locomotive and caused it to derail. That train was made by a famous Imperial arms manufacturer called the Rheinford Company, so it should have pretty durable plating. That gives me an idea just how terrifying that monster must have been, even if I didn't see it myself. Even a light drizzle can impede your range of vision. It's not ideal given all the eyewitness reports about those cryptids. I'd better keep my eyes peeled too. That train derailment yesterday was just awful. If the culprit really was a giant monster, what's to stop it from causing something like that again? If you ask me, I think we should be deployed on a search and destroy mission for that thing. With how important the Transcontinental Railroad is, we need to take extra steps to make sure this never happens again. If you ask me, I think we should be deployed on a search and destroy mission. Yeah, my way is outside. You all have once again been of invaluable aid to me. You rescued my man. As for the large one, we continue to track it. Good.
Yosh, どこに行こうかな。さあ、行くぞ。到着だ。
I can't help but wonder who or what caused the train derailment. If someone really is behind it, that's a serious offense. A lot of innocent people were hurt in that incident. It's going to take some time to install a new gate now that the last one's kaput. Honestly, I can't believe something managed to tear that thing apart in the first place. For the time being, we have to rely on the CGI's assistance for security. The cadets have been a buzz ever since the train derailment. I understand why they're so restless, but there's nothing we can do about the situation. As the instructor, it's my duty to boost their morale and make sure that their focus is on their studies.
Yosh, どこに行こうかな。さあ、行くぞ。よし、着いたぞ。
There are two guardsmen here. We finally cleaned up what was left of a gate that used to be here. What could have destroyed it like that? And how, for that matter? There's nothing worse than having to work in the rain. It's just not my day today. We're almost finished here, so we'll be taking off soon. Fishing in the rain. I'm going to get soaked to the bone at this rate.
Yosh, どこに行こうかな。さあ、行くぞ。よし、着いたぞ。
Take care out there, everybody. Rainy days like this one are no laughing matter in mines. One false move could send you tumbling down a cliff. It's more likely than you think. Max and I grew up here, so we've been warned about this sort of thing since we were kids. Walking the rain without an umbrella, I see. Not bad, not bad. There's nothing like a man soaked to the bone, his clothes clinging to him. More and more people are setting off to live in the city these days. Fortunately, we have boys and girls with plenty of mind sprite who are here to stay, like Logie and Amy. Nothing could make me happier. I've lived here all my life after all. The weather can be rather temperamental here in the mountains. At times, the rain gets so heavy that bus services have to be suspended. Today isn't one of those times, but nevertheless take care making your way around. There's been talk of large mysterious monsters appearing throughout the state. Not to mention that creature sighted near the train accident yesterday. Could that perhaps be related to the monster that appeared in the old deserted mine? Whatever the case, we had best tread carefully. Everyone's safety depends on it. The rain is so relaxing. We don't get many guests on days like today, so I'm just going to take it easy. Rainy days are the worst. The floor gets all wet and I have to mop it. Can't Carlos eat any faster? I want him to go home already. I finished transporting today's Septian load earlier this morning. If I'd done it after rain picked up, the road would have been too slick and muddy to get any traction on it. Knowing when it's safe to drive is a skill all on its own. Good on you, Carlos. Daddy always looks so sad on rainy days. Maybe it's because he misses being a miner? But I love Daddy just the way he is. I gotta do my best to cheer him up. It was a rainy day like today when I injured my leg and had to retire from being a miner. Even now the damn thing still aches. It's too rainy to play outside, this sucks. When Dad's getting home, I wanna play already. The mine gets awfully cold on rainy days. Not that the miners particularly mind, they dress light for work no matter whatsoever. Goodness me, I just hope they don't catch a cold. Thanks to guns, I've been able to refocus myself on my work. I plan to return with Faber picking up his tab tonight. This morning I dug a gigantic Zephyr crystal. That sucker was this big around, no fooling. I've been kicking all sorts of ass at work these days. If only I just kinda luck at the casino. Rainy days in the mines are the worst. It gets so cold I can barely stand it. I guess it would warm me up if I moved around more, eh? Too much work. Between caves and the monster outbreaks, we miners can put our lives on the line all the time. How do we manage to tough this job out then? By trusting each other and taking pride in our work, that's how. I'd say the others are starting to realize the fact, the way we've been coming together as a team lately. As chief of a mine, I'm blessed to lead a crew like this one I've got. We've almost made our way to the work layer we've been aiming for. A boatload of septium awaits, so I've got to keep on digging.
Yoshi, 行くか。どこに行こうかな。さあ、行くぞ。よし、着いたぞ。
Don't know about you, but I'm not a fan of the rain. It's a hard life working outdoors, am I right? Still, I take this over chaos and panic from yesterday with all those ambulances rushing into the hospital. Apparently was a huge accident on the West Cross Byway. It's a miracle no one got killed. We had ambulances bringing in patients in droves yesterday. I would have guessed it was due to a train derailment. I'm sure the railroad corporation is in such a rush to compensate those who were affected, but what's important, there's no lives were lost. Still, they haven't disclosed what caused the accident, right? What in the world could it have been? We can finally take a breather. Good job today, Miko. You're really holding your own helping out in there. Thanks. I have a lot to learn if I'm going to be a full-fledged doctor. And besides, I don't think I did anything special. I was really just pitching in here and there with a busy work. No need to be so modest. Even odds and ends like those are essential to keeping a hospital up and running. You don't even get the least bit faint at the sight of blood anymore. You're growing up quick, Miko. Someday I'd like to be trusted to take care of the big things too, not just the little things. We can worry about our evaluations later. Things are going to be busy here whether we like it or not. For now, we should be thankful that our patients were saved. All of our doctors and residents were called in to help treat the injured who were brought in from the train derailment. I tried to look on the bright side. This gives me the opportunity to clean every nook and cranny of the building before we return. Can't go to the research ward unless we have something there. I heard a lot of ambulances come into the hospital yesterday, Cecile. Someone said something about a big accident. What happened? Well, there was a train derailment along West Crossbar Highway. But don't worry, everyone survived and the doctors have taken good care of all the people who were injured. Really? Thank goodness. I was so scared for them. It reminded me of the accident that I was in. Shizuko. Zeron, why an idiotic name that you hang the sheets out on the roof to dry? Chief Clark specifically told us today's forecast called for rain. Yeah, but what does he know? I decided to take a gamble. Let it ride all on sunshine, you know? What were you thinking? The way the sky looked yesterday, I thought for sure it wasn't going to rain today. That's why you're a nurse and not a meteorologist. Great, now the sheets I washed are going to have to be washed again. Actually, wait, we're getting drenched as we speak. I need to hurry and take them down. Just so we don't have to change the map. That's why we're hanging there. You needn't worry, the fracture in your leg has already been treated. This is hardly a mortal wound, so please try and calm yourself. Oh, I think I'm dying. I can see the light. I just feel awful for everyone who was brought here from the train accident. It could be worse though. At least they didn't have to suffer the embarrassment of throwing out their bags. What are you looking at? Never seen someone throw out their bag before? That guy over there really needs to shut his trap. He's been wailing like a little girl this whole time. After a catastrophe we've been through, he should quit his belly aching and be glad we're all still alive. There's seemingly nothing the doctors here can't treat, no matter the number of patients, nor what ailments they have. I think every correspondent can have a little peace of mind about their healthcare so long as St. Ursula's doors stay open. Looks like things are finally starting to calm down after yesterday's train derailment. Talk about a rash. Oh, things got so busy I forgot to feed myself. I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. Well, I suppose it's about time I get to cleaning the nurse's station again. You'd think I'd be used to doing it after working here for so long, but it still makes me antsy. It's the lady's turf, you know? I've come all the way to cross the city to attend Archon's new show, and what happens? The train flips right off the tracks! Oh, what did I do to deserve this? Come to think of it, the revival production does open up tomorrow, doesn't it? Well, it's like they say, where there's life, there's hope. The god has kept you safe, there's something to be grateful for. Better to live to see another Archon's show than die before you ever get the chance. The goddess gave you a blessing here. Best way to show your appreciation is to focus on your recovery. Thank the goddess I'm alive, but my Archon's tickets, oh, what did I do to deserve this? The moment the train started to turn and fly off the rails, I thought I was a gunner. It's going to be a long while before I use the railway again. Airships only for me. Maybe I should look into moving to Libel. There isn't an empty bed in the ward anymore. Apparently there's some kind of a huge accident. I heard there was no casualties, though, fortunately enough. A train derailment? Who would have thought? It's been one thing after another this year. Can't we ever catch a break? There's been rumors spreading in the city about this giant monster that showed up around the same time as the derailment. You don't suppose the thing could have been behind it? The train derailment in our little state. What a horrible shock. I just hope the passengers came out alright. If you could please get in contact with the patient's family in Calvert, I'll go and deliver the medical records to Dr. Salent. We've been swamped ever since the derailment yesterday. Chances are I won't have any free time for a while. The other nurses and I have a job to do. We are passengers on the train that derailed. Luckily, our injuries are minor. I'm thankful that we can be discharged today, but I have to wonder what they're going to do about the railroad. Honestly, what a terrible accident to get caught up in. It all happened so suddenly and we still haven't been told what caused it. I wonder what it could have been. We admitted a great deal of patients after yesterday's train derailment. Not all of them were from Crosswell either. Thankfully, St. Azure has always been an international hospital, so there was no problem processing the paperwork. I shudder to imagine what would have happened had the accident occurred in a country without a medical system as advanced as ours. Just thinking about it makes me uneasy. Since yesterday's accidents, we've been getting out-of-state calls from Imperial and Republican citizens concerned about their loved ones. Can't imagine the anxiety they suffered when they heard someone important to them was hospitalized abroad. To make things worse, Crosswell is before state independence puts it in a tricky spot, politically speaking. I'll be leaving to do my rounds soon, Lytton. Don't relax just because we're done in the operating room. This accident has left us with a great number of patients to see to. Yes, Dr. Salent. For so long I've been wary of using a scalpel on the human body. But as times change and healthcare advances, it's become clear internal medicines can solve everything. Like the aftermath of this derailment. Working here has taught me to be more open-minded about new forms of medical treatment. I was too stuck in my ways when I chose to dismiss the advantages of surgery. It's much easier to catch a cold after getting soaked by the rain. When your body's core temperature is lowered, your immune system weakens, making you more susceptible to illness. If you're heading home, make sure to get out of the rain, change clothes and warm yourself up as quickly as possible. Our surgical tools really got a workout yesterday, let me tell you. Thankfully I've been making sure that Chaleur stays on top of their maintenance. This is one special batch of residents we've got on our hands, a tremendous help. Regular maintenance is essential when it comes to caring for medical devices. You wouldn't want to gloss it over either. It could be terrible if the very instrument meant to save someone hurt them instead. That's why I'm making sure they're in tip-top shape. You never know when a patient's going to get wheeled in. Ooh, I just got out of the operating room not too long ago. I've been performing one surgery after another all throughout the night. Once I've done with the checkers I have scheduled for the day, I can go home and sleep like a log. But that's not quite yet, okay. The police are investigating the old truck I bought from Minef. They said it wouldn't take long, but I hope they bring it back soon. Rain is a blessing from the heavens for us farmers. It's by the goddess' divine will that all of us may eat. I have to make sure I pay my respects to her. I hurt my lower back yesterday and it's no better today. I'm getting too old for this. That grandson of mine on the other hand, he seems different today somehow. I wonder what's coming over him. Grams threw out his back yesterday. He really ought to take a day off. I bet he would have if he didn't think I was incapable of running the store myself. I'll show him. I've got to get my act together and work harder. I don't particularly want to take over the store, but if it means Grams can retire in peace, then I'll show him I can. The youngsters are having Sunday school over at the inn today. All I could ever teach them is farming, so I hope they study hard. Might as well take the rest of the day off of all that rain. It's been a while since I've had a chance to loaf about at home. Seems as this incident helped Derek and Chief Tota make up with one another. Those two always put the needs of a village above all else. America's been through some hard times recently, but I'm sure things will start looking up for us soon. About this idea of yours, Derek, this apiculture experience. It has its benefits, but are you certain it would be safe to allow civilians into our fields? I see your concern, but I think it'll be okay. Honey is the village's specialty after all. We could even teach people how to handle bees properly. I'm willing to consider it. Looks like Chief Tota and Derek are getting along just fine now. That conflict has only brought them closer together in the end. Let's just leave them to it. Showcasing the most unique aspects of our village to the general populace isn't a bad idea at all. Doing so could even cause more people to consider moving here. You make a good point, Wolffather. We have to hash out the details of his plan in greater depth. Derek and Tota have been brainstorming new ideas together since yesterday evening. Rather than change the way they do things, they want to bring some life back into the village by showing off its traditional charms. With those two working together, Amorka is almost certainly in good hands. I'll be cheering them on the whole way through. Rainy days are the worst. They're drab, they're humid, and don't get me started on how dirty the floors get. Can't our customers be more conscious of all the mud they're tracking in here? Oh yeah, that big referendum is coming up soon, isn't it? If only I didn't have to go all the way to the city to vote. Still, it's important for the future of our village. I'm not about to shirk my civic duty. The rhythmic tapping of the rain against the window and a warm coffee in my hand. Days like this are perfect for sinking into a good book. Maybe I can put a dent in my backlog today. We're renting out the large room in the second floor of Sunday school today. I think I will have some pudding for the kids. They could probably use a snack. And an extra serving for the sister, of course. Until we moved here, I didn't know traveling Sunday school classes were a thing. It must be difficult to commune all the way out here from the cathedral. I have to remember to thank the sister for her service. We're having Sunday school today. The guy who runs the inn is gonna bring us snacks during our break. Man, I'm excited. Can't this lesson go any faster? When I lived in the city, I had to go to the cathedral for Sunday school. Now that I live here, the sister comes to me. It's pretty nice, actually. Me, Camille, and Stefan are learning today. I don't really get any of it, though. While making my way through the village, I saw what appeared to be giant cat prints all over the ground. What could have happened here? Oh, was it still there?
よし、どこに行こうかな。さあ、行くぞ。到着だ。
Kopan has been in a bit of a fishing rut too. Maybe this really is as far as our skills can take us. Now you've done it, Imperial Fishing Club. This calls for a secret weapon. I'm not finished yet. In fact, I'm just getting started. Gosh dang it, I'm so ticked off.
よし、どこに行こうかな。さあ、行くぞ。到着だ。
That accident off West Coast Highway was this close to spiraling into a massive scandal. If things hadn't been fixed up so quickly, the Empire and Republic would have easily used this as an excuse to meddle in the referendum. Thank ideas for that repair crew. Just recently was a bracer asking around about some missing colleagues of his. I hope we're alright. Shouldn't the bus be here by now? Situation normal, other than the drizzling of course, but we won't let that rain on our parade. Don't quit your day job. Wait a minute, that wasn't supposed to be a pun or anything. It was just trying to say that the weather wasn't going to dampen our spirits. Wait, no. It's okay, we understand. Well, those were pretty good actually. I was just trying to say that we weren't going to let a little rain get in the way of our duties. We're in a serious situation right now. There's no way I'd try to make light of that. Don't worry. I don't think you're going to be discharged over a few bad puns. Time gained is also affected by the big derailment yesterday. We even needed to call in the Republican tour buses to help with transportation. It was pretty troublesome. As if things weren't tense enough with the major powers, that accident couldn't have come at a worse time. Which makes it all the more suspicious. Good meal goes down even greater after a hard day on the job. You never know what will happen next, so I've got to make sure I'm never hungry and always ready. A colleague of mine who came from the Republic on a business trip was caught up in that train accident. I'm on my way to see him at the hospital. Thank the goddess his injuries weren't fatal. We had a lot of guests yesterday with all the passengers from the derailment being rerouted here by bus. Most of them are gone by now, but it was rough while it lasted. Tomorrow's a big debut of Archon's Revival show. The highlight is going to be their new up-and-coming performer Sully playing the role of a star princess. In the end I couldn't nab myself a ticket, but I'm sure the Crossbar Times will do a feature on it. I can't wait. Oh, it's just silly up here. The last thing I need is to catch a cold. Maybe I should take it easy for a bit. Our monitoring facility is getting a real workout today. It can be hard to keep watch with eyesight alone in weather like this, so having a radar comes in handy. It was damaged by the terrorists during the trade conference, but it's back up and running now. About yesterday's train accident. It happened right before the referendum. That makes me think that the Empire and Republic could have been behind it. I know we don't have any solid proof right now, but I can't help but be suspicious at a time like this. Ah, the SSS, I heard you did some impressive work yesterday at the scene of a train derailment. You should be thanking our leader here. That super sleuth extraordinaire does it again. Laying it on a little thick there, Randy? I wouldn't say that he is, actually. Much like I'd like to take credit, I only ever drilled combat tactics into you during your time at the academy. But even so, as your former instructor, my chest swells with pride. You've become quite the detective, Lloyd. Not you too, Deputy Commander. There's still so much I have to learn before I can even begin to fill my brother's shoes. I only made it this far thanks to my teammates covering for my weaknesses. Crossbell's most modest man. He always was. Keep up the effort, and you're sure to continue climbing. I look forward to seeing just what kind of man you become, Lloyd. Oh, by the way, would any of you have an interest in reading this book? Read popular fiction, Deputy Commander? Never would expect a gruff guy like you to be into that kind of stuff, Duggo. And why not? Anyone can enjoy a good novel. It just so happens that Commander Bates recommended this to me, but as you well know, I've been rather busy lately. Give it a try when you have some time. I think you'd enjoy it. Thank you, sir. So the guardsmen should guard the railway to ensure something like this doesn't happen again. Is his thought process there. Okay, but have we been everywhere?
よし、どこに行こうかな。
We were in Mainz, we were in Belgrade, police academies, and Ursula, Lothar, Sangman, America. I think so. Okay. And that's it for today. Until next time, I'm Mace and don't get lost.